Hello everyone and welcome back to Scandinavian Design 101. I'm Sanna.
I'm Andreas and we're two Swedes and we love design. And today we're going to talk about the incredible textile designer Marjatta Metsovaara and show you loads of her bold and colorful textiles. Marjatta's son, Patrik van Hafere, has contributed with information as well as a lot of wonderful pictures, so we really want to thank him.
Yeah.
And this is the first of two videos about Marjatta Metsovaara, and we will start already back in the 1920s.
Yeah. Marjatta Metsovaara was born in 1927 in the Finnish town of Turku, or Åbo as we say in Sweden. Her father was a Russian businessman and her mother was American of Finnish origin, born and raised in the US, giving the family cultural influences from around the world. She was the au pair for the American consul in Viipuri, where Marjatta's father met her. When Marjatta was a young child, her father owned a store selling books and artworks like rugs, but the business went under during the Great Depression in 1930, and the family moved to the small community of Ursula, some 100 kilometers away from Turku. The hard times in Turku didn't stop her father from starting a new company called Suomen Matto Oy, Finnish Carpet Limited, already in 1932. In the beginning, they produced carpets after models bought from mainly French, German and British designers. Soon they would come to start designing patterns of their own. The company wove carpets, rugs and blankets and also dyed them in different colors. Already at the age of 10, Marjatta was actively working in the company, handling orders and helping out in the design process. Inspired by her father, she also started drawing carpet designs of her own. Meanwhile, she also dreamed about becoming a ceramicist. Because of her aesthetic talents, Marjatta's father sent her to study at the Art Academy, now Aalto University, in the capital Helsinki, where she graduated as a textile designer in 1949. Two of her classmates were Maija Isola and Timo Sarpaneva. Two of her teachers were the legendary artist Tapio Virkala and textile designer Dora Ljung. Shortage of proper materials was a huge problem during her studies in post-war Finland. The country suffered severely in the aftermath of the Second World War, and the students had to use old bed sheets, paper and even birch bark.
Yeah. And soon after graduating, she took over her father's company, and in 1954 she founded Metsovaara Oy in the same facility. One of the first orders came from the well-known company Artek, founded by Alvar and Aino Aalto. And the designs were Pikku and Pikku Pikku. Pikku means small or little in Finnish. Another order of 3,000 meters came from Asko, and this turned out to be a bit too much for the 4 weavers working in the mill. Another 70 weavers had to be trained to be able to finish the huge order. And in the 50s, production was mainly hand-woven blankets in the unusual 60% mohair and 40% wool composition, but also upholstery fabrics and rugs. In 1960, a new weaving hall with modern weaving machines were added, resulting in much higher capacity and room for more employees. The classic logotype of the company was elegant and later redesigned by the graphic artist Kyösti Varis in 1966. And he's famous for designing posters as well as the original logotype for almost any Finnish company, like the Finnair, for example. And he said to Marjatta that the Metsovaara logo is by far his favorite. Early in her career, Marjatta was influenced not least by Swedish textile designers, and her classmate at the academy, Nanny Still, was Swedish spoken, and they started making exhibitions together already in 1949.
By this time, Marjatta had recently married the architect Kai Nyström, who was the city architect of Espoo. But they got divorced already in the mid-60s. At the same time, she gained international recognition, not least due to the many exhibitions she attended.
She had her first solo exhibition at Artek already in 1957. And in 1963, 66 and 69 she held huge solo exhibitions at the Helsinki Art Hall. And these were named Expo 63, 66 and 69. Yeah, logical there. And these were adventure tours rich in color and surprising materials, where the rich world of interior textiles was introduced in a technically spectacular setting. Expo 66, with the many displays of the closed collections, was her favorite. And the last of these exhibitions, actually her 20th anniversary celebration as an artist, was made up of completely new textiles and was at the same time a cross-section of her extensive international production. This was the same year as the Apollo 11 reached the moon, and the exhibition designer Perttu Mentola created a lunar landscape and space theme.
These 3 exhibitions held at the Helsinki Art Hall are still to date the largest private exhibitions ever held in Finland. Internationally, her contribution to the 1957 and 1960 Milan Triennale was of huge importance. In 1960, she won a gold medal for her fabric Comfort 2, which was a tightly woven furniture fabric in wool, cotton and viscose that came out in 40 different colors. We can say that Marjatta, other than a brilliant colorist and textile designer, was also a talented textile engineer. As a result, her textiles started to appear in large interior design projects around the world, and Marjatta had become a huge name in Scandinavian textile design. At her Helsinki showroom and store, she met international clients and sold colorful textiles to customers, interior architects and retailers around the world. Note that before 1960, her biggest sales were in the US, where her hand-woven mohair/wool travel rugs were sold in department stores like Bloomingdale's and Saks Fifth Avenue. She was surprised to see her textiles at the windows of these department stores on her first visit to New York in 1958. Today there are many of her woven fabrics you can see at the archives of many art museums in the US, like the Minneapolis Art Museum and Cooper Hewitt in New York. Now let's take a look at some of her exhibitions.
we must also talk about Marjatta Metsovaara as a designer of carpets. As we heard earlier, she was born into a family of carpet manufacturers, designing patterns for carpets already as a child. And at her first solo exhibition at Artek in 1957, she displayed a range of highly innovative carpet designs never seen before in Finland. And these hand-woven carpets were made from materials like horsehair, linen twine and coconut hair, making them more durable than standard carpets made from just wool. A patternless carpet design during this time was the highly successful Nukka, manufactured in her own mill and sold by the meter, machine woven from 1960 and on. Another hand-woven carpet was the Sparto rug with sisal hemp as a warp and plastic tape and the Sparto rope as a weft. This rough-looking carpet was extremely strong and durable. In the 60s, Metsovaara started commissioning mechanical production of rugs, among them Rinkola, produced by the Danish company Wittrup. And best known today is perhaps the machine-tufted carpet she designed for the American Finnish company Finrya Oy. And Simpukka, designed in 1963, is today sought after by collectors and interior decorators.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
And this was the first video about Marjatta Metsovaara. And next week we will continue talking about the later years in her career. But if you liked this video,
please click thumbs up and subscribe.
Yeah, and follow us on Instagram. We are called Scandinavian Design 101.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.